Hi everyone, and welcome to Speak English with us. I'm Holmes. Let me tell you something a little embarrassing. A while ago, I made a list of everything I wanted to improve. My English, my health, my work, my habits. It was a very long list, maybe 12 things, and I was excited. I thought, this is it. This is the year everything changes. Do you know what happened? 3 weeks later, I had done almost nothing on that list. Not because I was lazy, but because the list was too big. And when something feels too big, our brain quietly says, maybe tomorrow. So today we're going to talk about a different way, a smaller way, the power of starting small. This is a B1 level episode, and if you're A2, just stay with me. You can always listen again, and you will catch more the second time. Let's get into it. Okay, so before we dive in, let me tell you what we're going to cover today. First, we're going to talk about why we almost always go too big with our goals, and why that is actually a very human thing to do. Then, we're going to look at the idea of starting small, what it really means, and why it works. And finally, and this is my favorite part, we're going to bring it back to English learning. Because everything we talk about today, it applies directly to how you learn this language. Along the way, I'll share some really useful vocabulary, words and phrases you can use in your daily life. And at the end, we'll do our word tour together, a quick review of everything we learned. So stay with me until the end. Alright, let's start. So, why do we make plans that are too big? I think it's because we're excited. And excitement is a beautiful thing. When we feel excited, we believe we can do anything. We think, yes, I'll wake up at 5 a.m. every day. I'll study English for 2 hours. I'll go to the gym. I'll cook healthy meals. All of it. And we believe it. In that moment, we really believe it. But here's the problem. That excitement, it doesn't last. After a few days, the excitement fades. Fades means it gets smaller and smaller, like a light slowly going off. And when the excitement is gone, all we have left is a very long list of very hard things to do. And that is when we feel overwhelmed. Overwhelmed. Let's look at that word. Overwhelmed. If you feel overwhelmed, something feels too big, too much, too heavy for you to handle. Like someone gave you 10 heavy bags to carry at the same time. It's an important word because we feel it a lot. And now you can say it in English. I feel overwhelmed. Say that in your head or out loud if you can. I feel overwhelmed. Now, when we feel overwhelmed, most of us do one thing. We procrastinate. Procrastinate. This is a great word. To procrastinate means to delay, to wait, to say, I'll do it later, even when you know you should do it now. And the funny thing is, we usually procrastinate not because we're lazy, but because we're a little scared. Scared we'll fail. Scared we're not ready. So we wait. And waiting becomes a habit. Habit. That's another key word today. A habit is something you do regularly, almost automatically, without thinking. Brushing your teeth in the morning, that's a habit. Checking your phone before you sleep, that's a habit too, honestly. Habits are powerful because they happen without much effort. And that is exactly what we want to build. Small, positive habits. But here's the key question, how do we build good habits when everything feels too big? This is where starting small comes in. Let me give you an example. Imagine you want to start running. And you think, okay, I'll run 5 kilometers every day. That's your goal. 5 kilometers. Day 1, you run. It's hard, but you do it. Day 2, your legs hurt, but you try again. Day 3, you wake up, you look at your running shoes, and you think, maybe tomorrow. Sound familiar? Right? Now imagine a different approach. You say, I'm just going to put on my running shoes and walk to the door. That's it. Just to the door. Sounds almost silly, right? But here's the thing. When you put on your shoes and walk to the door, something happens in your brain. You feel good. You feel, I did it. And that small feeling, that's the beginning of momentum. Momentum. I love this word. Momentum is the energy, the force that builds when you keep moving. Think of a ball rolling down a hill. First, it moves slowly, but the longer it rolls, the faster it goes. That's momentum. And you don't need a big push to start. You just need a small one. So the idea of starting small is this: choose an action so small it feels almost too easy. And then just do that. every day. And here's what's beautiful. Small actions done consistently. Consistently means regularly, again and again over time. Those small actions build into something much bigger than you imagined. Consistently. Let me say that again. Consistently. It's one of the most important words in any learning journey. Not perfectly. Not quickly. Consistently. I want to share something my own teacher told me once. She said, Holmes, you don't need to be great to start. But you need to start to be great. I wrote that down. I still think about it today. Okay, so let's bring this back to English. Because this is exactly what I see with so many learners. People say to themselves, I'm going to study English for 2 hours every day. I'm going to learn 50 new words every week. I'm going to watch movies without subtitles. And for a few days it works. They feel great. And then, life happens. Work is busy. They're tired. 2 hours becomes 1 hour. Then 30 minutes. Then nothing. And then comes the guilt. Guilt, that feeling that you did something wrong. Makes it even harder to start again. So what's the alternative? Start small. Incredibly small if you have to. Instead of 2 hours, try 10 minutes. Just 10 minutes of English every day. Listen to one short podcast episode while you have breakfast. Write 3 sentences in a notebook before you sleep. Repeat 5 new words out loud in the shower. Those 10 minutes? They add up. Over 1 week, that's 70 minutes of English. Over 1 month, more than 300 minutes. 5 hours of practice that didn't feel like practice at all. And the most important thing, you built a habit. A real, sustainable habit. Sustainable, that's a new word. Sustainable means something you can keep doing for a long time without stopping. Without burning out. Burning out means becoming so tired that you stop completely. I really believe this. Progress in English doesn't come from big study marathons. It comes from small, consistent steps day after day. Progress. Let's look at that word one more time. Progress means moving forward. Getting better. Even if it's slow. Even if it feels invisible some days. Progress is progress. And right now, just by listening to this episode, you are making progress. You really are. So here's your challenge for today. And I want you to really try this one. Think of one very small thing you can do in English tomorrow. Just one. Maybe it's listening to 5 minutes of a podcast. Maybe it's reading 3 sentences out loud. Maybe it's writing 1 paragraph about your day. It should feel almost too easy. That's how you know it's the right size. Write it down somewhere. And tomorrow, just do that one thing. Don't do more. Don't push yourself. Just do the one small thing. And notice how you feel after. And if you feel comfortable, share it in the comments below. Tell me, what is your one small thing? I would genuinely love to read your answers. And if this episode has been helpful to you, I'd be so grateful if you subscribe to Speak English with us. It really does help us reach more learners just like you. Thank you so much. Alright, before we say goodbye, let's do our word tour. This is where we review all the vocabulary from today's episode. Listen carefully and try to remember where we used each word. Number 1. Overwhelmed. Overwhelmed. When something feels too big and too heavy to handle. I feel overwhelmed by my long list of goals. Number 2. Procrastinate. Procrastinate. To delay doing something you know you should do. Don't procrastinate. Start with just one small step. Number 3. Habit. Habit. Something you do regularly, almost without thinking. Listening to English every morning is a great habit. Number 4. Momentum. Momentum. The energy that builds when you keep moving forward. Once you start, you will build momentum. Number 5. Consistently. Consistently. Doing something regularly again and again over time. The key is to practice consistently, not perfectly. Number 6. Sustainable. Sustainable. Something you can keep doing for a long time without stopping. 10 minutes a day is a sustainable habit. Number 7. Progress. Progress. Moving forward. Getting better even slowly. Every small step is progress. 7 words. 7 powerful ideas. And now, they're yours. That's everything for today's episode. I hope this conversation gave you something useful. Not just for your English, but maybe for your life too. Remember, you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be fast. You just have to start. Start small. Start today. And trust that every small step is taking you somewhere good. Thank you so much for listening. Keep practicing and we'll see you in the next one. Bye for now. Happy learning.